bulktechsenderpro.com. If you just open up that website on your phone right now, you're gonna find a profitable software company. And today, like literally today, I built an exact replica of that company. Like literally everything which they do, I built a company which does all of that. And it took me like just 3 freaking hours. And it taught me two very important lessons. And I thought like whenever I learn something new, I just like write it on my notes app as notes to myself. So I was like, I can just come here and share these exact notes with someone so that they can also benefit from the same. Here are the two most important things I learned from this process. The first point which I wrote to myself: you never find the answers in your head. You just find anxiety and overcomplication. For example, like this is basically a concept from Sam Owens. If you go to the website called skool.com, skool.com, you probably have heard of it. It's like a pretty successful company. And if you also go to a company known as consulting.com, both of these companies were owned by Sam Owens. Skool was earlier like 100% owned by him. Then Alex Hormozi also joined, and now they're like co-partners. Consulting.com was built by Sam Owens, and he basically sold it off to focus entirely on Skool and everything. I was rewatching his course today, like Consulting Accelerator, consulting.com, which was the first product which made him like hundreds and millions of dollars. So I was just rewatching it, trying to grasp all of the main concepts which he was speaking about. And he had the concept of a MVO, a minimum viable offer. Like he basically stole it from the software world. Like in the startup software world, you probably know that there's a thing called minimum viable product. So what a lot of people used to do, they used to like basically add as many features as possible to their software products and everything, and that just included like a lot of shitty things which people did not want. It overcomplicated the entire experience of the user. It made the process of development of the software extremely lengthy as well, and basically they were including like so many costs, they were including so many features, and people simply did not want it. So then this revolution came of the minimum viable product, where basically people were like, bro, this is one narrow problem which people want to solve, and we're gonna be just solving this one problem. A very good example of this might be Calendly, the call booking software. They don't do anything else. I'm pretty sure they have the money to get into CRMs and everything, but Calendly just focuses on appointment booking, and it's the most fucking famous software out there. Anyway, so that's basically the concept, and he was speaking about it. And he said one line which always resonates with me. He was like, when people build out their minimum viable offer, it is subject to change. People try to think, okay, this is what I'll include in my offer. Like, offer is basically the thing you tell people, like, yeah, this is what I have to offer, and you can buy it from me. Basically, the product or service or whatever you're selling to the market. He was like, people try to think. People might like this approach might not work for me, this might work for me. And they try to come up with all the answers in their head. But that is just not how the real world works. He gave the example of this Suzy and lunch, basically a concept he had in his course and everything, where he gave the analogy, like let's assume there's a middle-aged lady down the road who's named Suzy. And basically a person is assigned with the task that he has to figure out what this middle-aged lady Suzy wants for lunch. What a lot of entrepreneurs, what a lot of people would do. They'll look at her, they'll try to guess like what does she want for lunch. Maybe she looks like Italian, she might want pasta or pizza, something like that. She kind of looks like Indian, maybe she's an immigrant and maybe she wants like curry or naan or something like that. Maybe she's like Mexican and she wants tacos or whatever. Like basically people look at her and then they try to speculate, they try to think what exactly might be the thing which Suzy wants for lunch. And he was like, bro, even if you're the best fucking person, you have access to the best tools, you're the best entrepreneur, you can never, with 100% surety and accuracy, like ever guess what she wants for lunch. You can get close, you can get very good at it, but you can never like have 100% accuracy. You can never just look at a person and be like, yeah bro, like this is exactly what they want, with 100% conviction and surety and accuracy. And even if you try to get close to that end goal of having like 100% accuracy, you'll have to include like so many complicated things, like so many complicated processes, scenarios, everything. He was like, what the smartest people do is they don't try to guess what Suzy wants for lunch. They just simply walk up to her and they're like, Susie, what do you like to eat? Like, what do you want for lunch? And it saves them money, it does not complicate shit, it does not make them anxious because they're just over there and they're just asking her, Susie, like, what the frick do you want for lunch? They're not in their heads trying to speculate what might be true, what not might not be true. And basically, all of our misery and suffering, it just comes in our head. When we actually go out looking for answers and solutions, it's actually not very difficult. So, the context with which I wrote this to myself, like exact thing which I wrote to myself, everyone thinks iMessage is expensive and doesn't work, everything. That's a very common thing because international messaging is very expensive. Like sending messages, like for example, I'm in India. If I want to send like a normal message from India to the US, it's very expensive. Even if you're just messaging people in the USA, you have to get like A2P verification. Basically, you have to get a lot of paperwork done. It takes a lot of time. It takes some money as well. After that, even if you're like based out of the US or even if you're sending like messages out locally, every single message you have to pay like a lot of money. So it does not sound like a lot, like a couple of cents. But if you send like hundreds, thousands of messages, it just keeps on adding up. And everyone thought messages like SMS were very expensive and everything, and they simply do not work. Because like if I just go to my own messages, it's just random crap. Like OTP is this thing. So mostly messages are like crappy and spammy and all of that shit. So I had that belief, I had that like that notion in my head that this shit clearly does not work. The reason I decided to like build this platform out in the first place, and I'm not even gonna be, I don't know if I should release it to the public or not. I just built it for myself. So yeah, you can just let me know if you want access to the same. Yeah, anyways, the platform which I built, which basically allowed me to send like unlimited iMessages, these blue colored messages. I built it out like if someone's wondering like what is iMessage. For example, if you see this message, this is a normal message. It is not blue in color. But if I send in iMessage, it appears blue in color. So basically it's like a technology between iPhone to iPhone. So I thought this would not work. I thought sending international messages would be extremely expensive. I thought people simply do not check their phones or their messages, whatever. But I just decided to try it out. Out of, if I'm being honest, like desperation. Because I use WhatsApp outreach a lot, like I have automated outreach machines on WhatsApp. Basically, I reach out to people automatically using WhatsApp, and when they reply, I have chatbots who basically convert them into customers, and I don't even have to do any of that stuff. But for some reason, like I don't know why, the people in the US, they just simply don't want to use WhatsApp. In India, in the Europe, in South America, everywhere, people just love using WhatsApp. WhatsApp is like so much better, bro. Like I don't know about people outside of India, but in India, if people tell me like, bro, like just send me an SMS, that's something we don't even consider. Like WhatsApp is the basic mode of communication. No one uses SMS. And I assume just because that does not happen in India, it won't happen in the US as well. Like people over there, they don't use WhatsApp. And I was in my head thinking just because I don't use WhatsApp, people around me don't use, I don't use SMS and people around me don't use SMS, this thing won't work out in US as well. But I was wrong. People do use like messaging apps. And if they're not using WhatsApp, clearly they will be using like normal messaging too. And it just clicked for me. I was like, bro, like if they're not responding to me on WhatsApp, because a lot of the people, even if they had a WhatsApp account, when I sent the message over, like there was only one tick, which basically meant they had the account, but it was not active. Like they simply did not even have internet turned on over the device where they use the WhatsApp, which probably meant like they never even check it out. And I was getting terrible reply rates. Like I got like a couple of replies max from people in the USA. And it was basically not working for me. So out of sheer desperation, I decided to try it out. And I just sent a couple of messages. Like I sent like let's say 100 messages to people in the USA. 60% of the people did not even have a WhatsApp number. So what I went is I went to my own platform, my software and everything. I just looked at all the people who did not have a WhatsApp number. And I just started to manually like send out the messages, and I'll try to find the exact one. Like I was just sending it to people randomly. And just a second, I'll try to find the exact screenshot. And within a couple of minutes, like as I was sending it to the second or the third person, the first person like sent me a reply. And I was like, damn bro, this shit actually works. Like if you want to see the number, like it's actually to someone in the US, you can just yeah, basically you can say it. So it just worked. And I was like, bro, I was out here in my head thinking this shit won't work because it did not work for me. Like I don't use it. But in reality, people actually do use it. It's very convenient for them. iMessage is maybe the equivalent of WhatsApp for people over there. Like WhatsApp for like basically what WhatsApp is for us in India. iMessage is what it is for them. And I was like, damn bro, this shit actually freaking works. Then the second concern, like messaging, everything will be very expensive and all of that crap. But then I read an article from Apple which basically said iMessaging is free. Like it's 100% free. And I was like, damn bro, I was in my head thinking like this shit will be expensive, I have to pay like so much of money. But I just went out into the market. I tried to look for answers outside of my head in the real fucking world. And it turns out it's not expensive. It's actually free. And I was like, damn bro, like I can send like basically unlimited messages using this without even breaking a sweat. It's free. And at the same time, it does not require any extra, like it just works. And at the same time, it's free. Another thing, like another problem which I thought like an example, like I just checked that I was opening WhatsApp and everything right now. So basically if you see, like I don't want to reveal his exact number, his or her. So if you can see, it's a UK based phone number. And basically the person said, I asked him like, yo, did you sign up for the sales at Ryan? And I'll also show you another number, like another thing. So yeah, if you see, this is +34, which is basically the country code of Spain, and that is the country code of the UK. And I used to think because I'm Indian and I have an Indian accent, people are not gonna be interested in, like basically people from outside of India won't watch videos of someone from India. And that's why I always used to make videos in a mixture of Hindi, which is my local language, and English. But I posted my first English only video yesterday, and it got me like crazy dope results. Someone from the UK signed up for my software trial, platform trial, everything. Someone from Spain signed up for it. And it's just one freaking video. Imagine I post hundreds, thousands of videos like this in the next 1 year, in the next 5 years. And imagine my accent becomes better with each and every single passing video. I was just out here in my own head thinking like people will make fun of me for my accent and everything. But no one ever mentioned that. Firstly, because people have own, like they have their own fucking insecurities and shit. Because the person who I got on the call with, like I just wanted to get feedback, so I hopped on a call with the guy from Spain. And I asked him like, Hector bro, like basically just explain to me how exactly you found it. How did you find it? Because that's something which is new for me. Like because I never made videos in English. So getting people from outside of India from my content, like apart from content I was fine, like I knew how to speak in English, so I was getting international deals and clients. But people coming from outside my nation, from international markets and everything, that was something new. And I wanted to learn more about it. So when I got on the call, he seemed extremely conscious of his own English as well. Because people in Spain, like I don't think so English is the first language. They probably speak like Spanish or Espanol, whatever, like I don't know. What's the name of the language? Probably Spanish or something like that. And it just shows you. I was out here in my own head fucking anxious, worried like, oh my god, people in India don't want to pay that much. They have issues with the recurring products, bro. I can just target like people outside of my nation. Another shit, like so many people have this excuse. People in India don't want to pay like a lot of money. No bro, like it's just like you've not shown enough value to them. Because even the poorest sections of a nation, they have the aspirations of buying a house. They spend like lakhs, which is like thousands of dollars on a wedding. Like even the most poorest people, they spend like thousands of dollars on a wedding. So maybe our stuff, our shit is just not valuable. We've never asked them like, why do you think you spend so much of money on a wedding? Maybe because they want the status. Maybe because they think like if they don't do this, then people are gonna think of them terribly. Then it's like a status thing. So how can we position a product and service in a way which basically shows like, okay, if I buy this, whatever, then I'm gonna get like a lot of status. So I never understood it. Like, I used to think, like, if we all just have so much of shit going on in our own heads, but if we just get out of it, our misery, our suffering is gone, and we actually start to find solutions to shit and problems in a life, which brings me to the next point. So, Amil, how exactly did you like build this startup and everything? Like, tell this, like, it makes sense you were manually sending out the messages and everything. And I wrote, I just wanted to like automate the iMessage sending, like TLDR. I don't want to like read through the entire thing. I just wanted to automate it because I was like, there's no fucking way I'm gonna be sitting on my laptop. I'm gonna be like seeing the number from the spreadsheet. I'm gonna be manually going to my phone's messaging app. I'm gonna go to message. Then I'm gonna click on this button over here, and then I'm gonna type the country code, like let's say +1, and after that I'm gonna like basically type the message and everything. There's absolutely no freaking way I'm gonna be doing that. Like, there's no way I'm gonna be like manually doing all of this crap. And I just figured out the problem which needed to be solved. And I was like, bro, like, there has to be a solution. So I went to the first website which I mentioned in the beginning of the video, bulk message, like bulktexterpro.com, something like that. And for some reason, like, I'll just show you the exact problem I was getting. Bulk Texter Pro. So if I open their website right now, like, I'm banned for some reason. And I have like zero idea why. Like, my IP has been banned. I've tried it on my phone and everywhere. So then I was like, bro, like, something has to change. Then I tried to go to their YouTube channel and videos, and I tried to see like what exactly they do. So basically they have their, like, there's an app in your MacBook and your iPhone, which is basically known as Shortcuts. And over here, you can like automate a lot of processes. Like, you have access to like literally all the things which can be done. So you have access to all the apps on your Mac and everything, and you can like add alarms, calendars, call people up, send messages. You can like change files and shit. So basically you have like a lot of shit you can play around with. So basically you can create like voice memos as well, like everything. So basically it's like an automation software. Like, Apple have their own automation software known as Shortcuts, and it's an inbuilt app. You don't have to download anything. And I saw that they have their own app, like if you can see, Bulk Texter Pro, the purple colored one. And I was like, bro, like, they have their own freaking app and shit. So then I went to ChatGPT. I'll show you the exact chart as well. Chat.openai. Just a second, I'll open it up. Yeah. So, yeah. If you can see this chart, like, I'll try to increase the brightness. It's basically like hours and hours of me going back and forth with ChatGPT, like just telling it all the issues I'm facing, why it's not working and everything. So just hours and hours of all of this constant going back and forth between me and ChatGPT. And I just basically asked it, like, this is what I want to do. This is the end goal. Like, I want to send automated, unlimited messages. I want to upload the CSV file, and the automation should basically read all the messages, and whenever the number is received from the CSV file, a message should go to them. It should be personalized with this, that, whatever. And I just built out this automated system. I received some errors. Like, what it did was, it, like, let's say there were 100 numbers in the CSV. Instead of sending out the message to them manually, it basically like created a group with 100 people and sent them the exact same message. After that, there was like no freaking gap, and it was just blasting out hundreds of messages in a second. So these were issues I told ChatGPT, like, this is what I'm facing. Then it told me do this, do that. Sometimes ChatGPT gave me the wrong answers. I was like, bro, like, try to use your own freaking brain. And it took me a couple of hours. Like, I'm not joking. Like, I had my coffee over here in this thermos. So I had like 2 cups of coffee, and I was just sipping through it, talking to ChatGPT and trying to figure out what exactly can be done. Like, how exactly can I fix this shit? How exactly can I do this? How exactly can I do that? All of that crap. And it took a lot of time, but it was absolutely worth it. And I literally built like a profitable startup within a couple of hours using ChatGPT, like a freaking free app, which you have on your own freaking laptop as well. Now I have not sold it because I just made it for myself. Like I don't know if I want to sell it in the future or not. Maybe I might sell it, something, whatever. But like, yeah, that's the thing. Like I have not sold it, but there is proof. Like it is proof. This thing actually works. Because there's this company, bulktechsender.com, something like that, and they charge money for the same. If they're still like a live functioning company, I can safely assume they're profitable, they're making money. Otherwise, why would they offer their service? So it's clearly something which is profitable, and I built the exact same thing. And if you don't believe me, like, you can just see the exact same thing. So I don't know if you can see it or not, but basically what happens is, like, let's say I click on start, like I just start the automation, then it will ask me like what message I want to send. Like, let's say I want to say hi. After that I can click on done. After that I can upload a CSV file from my app and everything. And after that, once the file is uploaded, then it is gonna get like phone number from here. And after that, it's gonna basically like ensure that only one phone number is added, like basically only one message is sent at one single time. And after that, we basically just send the message. So we send the message content, and the message content is basically the text which we inputted over here. So I built out this quote unquote profitable startup. And all it took me was getting out of my own head, figuring out the exact problem, and then just using ChatGPT and the power of AI tools and everything, which is available to both me and you. You could have done this as well. Like, I don't know how much this company makes. Like, let's say if it's like $1 million company, you could have built like $1 million company in 5 freaking minutes. But you're too stuck in your own head. It's crazy the times we live in. We can literally build companies, like profitable software companies, within us, using free fucking tools. You don't even need to know coding. You just need to ask ChatGPT like what exactly is wrong, how do I fix it? And now there are obviously better models coming like DeepSeek and everything. And these are the 2 lessons I learned, bro. Like, in short, just get out of your own head, figure out the problems the market has. Don't try to project your own judgments, insecurities, and your own belief systems on the market. Just figure out what they want. And once you know what they want, it's very easy to deliver upon it, because we live in the power of AI and technology, where you can literally build fucking profitable startup companies in 3 fucking hours. That's all I had to say. If you're making less than $1,000 a month and you want to try out the SalesGen platform, which is basically everything you need in order to make money from the internet, go to the first fucking link in the description. If you're making over $1,000 and you want my help in building out an automated client acquisition system for your company where you basically do nothing, chill, relax, and you get like fucking money in your bank account, go to the second link in the description. The third one is full of like cool stuff. Yeah, go there right now. Bye. Take care. Love you.